Salam, shalom, peace and wisdom. Wise Solace speaking. Today I want to do this video explaining how all animals are mankind at different stages of man evolving. Mankind is a being evolving into the pinnacles, our last image of whatever it is as a physical being. So a fly is a stage of mankind's evolution. A seahorse is a stage in mankind's evolution. A tadpole, a gorilla, even mankind itself is merely a stage of man evolving into his imago. The imago is the last image. Now you can reference beetles or other winged insects. They leave behind their pupa. This pupa can be a cocoon or a chrysalis, but they leave behind their pupa, which gives you a perspective of the last image that the insect takes. Remember, the insect goes through many different stages of its metamorphing. And it goes into its pupa stage during these times of metamorphing. But one will be the last. And so this is what I mean when I say mankind is a being evolving into its last image. The image that you see of man now is merely just a stage in his evolving. So all the animals are man at a different stage of his metamorphosis, or his evolving into the last image, the imago. Now you can reference Baal, the deity Baal, or Baal. You can reference that deity and how he's depicted as a fly with a man's head, to let you know that a fly is man, but at his earliest stages of metamorphing. You can reference Poseidon when he's depicted as a seahorse. It is to say that a seahorse is man in his early stages of evolving. Reference Kek, how the ancient Egyptians depicted Kek as a man with a frog's head. It's to say that a frog or a tadpole is a man at his earliest stages of his evolving. So there's only man here that you see at different times in his coming or evolving. So a fly is a man, a frog is a man, a bat, a gorilla, all the different animals you see are man at a different stage of his evolving. Now I'm sure a lot of you guys will say, well, how are all these animals still here if they evolved into man? Like this. If you catch a wild animal, let's say a wolf, and you domesticate it into a dog, a pit bull. Well, the pit bull and the wolf that it evolved from still coexist together. Think of a Caucasian person and a black person interbreed, and then they have a baby which is a mulatto, or a mixture of them both, something new. But the two older versions still remain, meaning the black person and the Caucasian. Their child is just an evolution of the two. All three coexisting together still. So as I said, all the animals are mankind at a different stage of his metamorphosis or his evolving into the last image, or the imago. Now, how's this all possible? Like this. As mankind evolves in the womb, all the stages of his development make for a specific species of animal. Now reference a man's sperm and it being like a maggot or larvae. We're speaking of a man's sperm as it's being developed into sperm and then pushed into the testes where it lies dormant or dead at. And so a man's sperm is like larvae. Of course, when the seminal fluid is released on it, it emerges from that dormant or pupa stage as a fly. Of course, this flying larvae or fly that is a man, we're speaking the sperm of man, it goes into the woman's womb, gets the egg, and then 30 days after that conception, the human embryo, which is that sperm, that fly, resembles a seahorse. The gestation time for a seahorse is 30 days. 122 days after conception, the human embryo resembles an armadillo. The gestation period of an armadillo is 122 days. Now at 41 weeks, the human embryo resembles a bison. The gestation time of a bison is 283 days, which is 41 weeks. At 42 weeks to birth, it resembles an ape. We're speaking of the human embryo. And it stays ape till about 3 or 4 years of age. This is when it stands upright and speaks words. Basically, this is when it is a man. Before that period, the baby is an ape. The way its limbs are all rubbery like, the way it moves, it's ape. The way it communicates and speaks, it's ape. But like I said, around 3 or 4, this is when it starts to speak words. This is when its head gets bigger than its body. I'm sorry. Like I was saying, it stays ape till around 3 or 4. From there, its head gets a little big, it speaks words, and it stands upright and moves about in an upright manner. Meaning at 4 years old, the baby does not crawl and things of this nature. Its spine is more upright. It feels more comfortable in that way. So as the embryo or fetus is metamorphing in the womb, let's say when it reaches the seahorse stage, all the life forms in the body, which is the world, will be seahorse-like. When the fetus reaches a stage when it resembles an armadillo, all the life forms or cells within the body will be armadillo-like. So this is boars, any animal that's similar to an armadillo, so on and so forth. This is why if you reference the Bible, it says the animals were made first, then man. But it's speaking of the Spirit of God from the beginning evolving. Just one thing coming into being. In the beginning, the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Sperm cell in the womb. This is how life, whether a physical body or the whole universe, the whole physical existence, well, this is how it begins. Now it gets deeper, meaning there's species of animals with longer gestation periods than man. And these are your highest stages in man's evolving or metamorphing on higher planes of existence. Like I said in the beginning, even man is a stage in the evolution of man, or man evolving into his last image. Now, an elephant has a 1.5 year to 2 year gestation period. Now, I want you to think of the elephant deity Ganesh from the Far East teachings. Ganesh looks like an elephant man. And so it's like I said, the animals with a longer gestation period than man, they make for the later evolutions of man. Now, a granulodon octopus has a 4.5 year gestation period. That's 4.5 years. Now think of Lakshmi, Parvati, Vishnu, other Far East deity, and how they have many limbs, arms, like an octopus, but they are depicted as man. Meaning, man is not the imago or the last stage or image of man's evolution. An octopus-like deity is. Think of when you're watching television, you see Pinky in the brain. The brain is like an octopus. Now think of big-head aliens. They got the image from the octopus. In regards to our universe, and it being a body in the womb, so it's no different than I just explained using an organism and it evolving in womb. Now in regards to our universe, being a body evolving in womb, so all the stages, meaning the atomic level, molecule level, cell level, organism level, solar level, galaxy level, are all stages of the universal body going through its transformations in the womb. The organism level is when it metamorphs into man. The solar body level is when it metamorphs into an elephant-looking man. The galaxy level is when it metamorphs into an octopus-looking man. Reference the spiraled arms of a galaxy. Now, when the universal body is born out of its womb, it will be a pharaoh, which is a man type of fly, or a man with wings. Reference the ancient Egyptian pharaoh coffin images. They resemble fly-like men. They have all the glories of a fly in a man.